Good morning. Today is Wednesday of the 7th week in Ordinary Time. And 1 week from today, we begin our great penitential season of Lent with Ash Wednesday. But Ash Wednesday itself has a very ancient tradition and source for Ash Wednesday. And that source goes back even to Old Testament days, where as a sign of sorrow for sins, as a sign of one's willingness to do penance and atone for sins committed, often enough the practice was to publicly sit in what was called sackcloth and ashes, and it was real ashes. But that's a reminder to you, to me, to everyone, that we were created by God from the dust of the earth, and as we are so beautifully reminded on Ash Wednesday itself, when we are signed with the sign of the cross of Christ on our forehead with ashes, that remember, you are dust, and to dust you shall return. It's not meant to scare us, but it's meant to help us recognize I'm not going to live forever. God has given me the great gift of life on this earth, and it's for a time. But I will be judged by Him, worthy of heaven or worthy of hell, by what I do with the life He's given me. Have I cultivated and strengthened my faith by prayer, by the reception, frequent reception of the sacraments, by the good works of charity, whether they're the corporal or the spiritual works of mercy? Have I strengthened my faith and my hope by doing real penance, something that I deprive myself of willingly, so as not to become so enamored of the things of this world or so controlled by the things of this world that God isn't really any longer a part of my life. So there's a great deal of spiritual and practical wealth to Ash Wednesday. Now, the ashes we use on Ash Wednesday are, by a long Catholic custom, the burned palms that we received the year before on Palm Sunday, that Sunday prior to Easter Sunday, the Sunday that begins Holy Week. And so that too is a sign to us that you recall Palm Sunday, everyone was waving palms and shouting and acclaiming Jesus and how wonderful He was. And then they all leave Him, abandon Him to be crucified on Good Friday. So those ashes also remind us that the things of this world come and go. They aren't the things that are going to get us to heaven. They can help us, but if we think that, amassing all kind of financial wealth or fame or political power, that's the be-all and end-all of my life, we'll be sadly disappointed. They all come and go. They are with us for a while, and then they're gone. What doesn't come and go is that gift of faith which God gave to us when we were baptized, and the graces that come with the gift of faith. If we use that gift and cultivate our faith in Him, in His body, the church. And so as we approach Ash Wednesday, again, 1 week from today, it might be well just to take stock of What are we doing so far as our faith is concerned? Where can Lent help us to strengthen our faith? Is it in our daily prayer? Is it in our good works of charity? How often do we really perform a good work of charity and not just give something to somebody, whether it's a few dollars or whatever it is? I don't need that anyway. Real charity is when we give from our substance, what we ourselves need, and give it to others, not because we hope they're going to thank us or repay us, but simply because, and Lent will teach us this again by way of reminder, simply because we see in that other person or persons Christ himself, who would treat us in the way that we should treat other people. And so this week is a good time to prepare for these next 40 days of prayer, fasting, and penance, so that we ourselves are properly prepared. We're ready to celebrate the greatest day in the history of all mankind, Easter Sunday, when the Lord rose from the dead and for once and for all put to death death itself, as the scriptures so proclaim to us, as the early church fathers all taught, that it is Christ crucified and risen from the dead that gives us our salvation and gives us hope of heaven.